Today's gonna be hard.
Are you the last one? No, one more.
A mile.
Try 4.
No, not 4, not 4!
On this episode of Timber Moments, we take our family of 6 on the Resurrection Trail from Hope, Alaska to the Fox Creek Cabin. So we're about to begin our adventure. A family of 6 going up the Resurrection Trail from Hope. This is the beginning of the trail and it's already beautiful. So can't wait to see what else we discovered. Here we go. Noah's got something to show us. You ready, Noah?
What are you doing? The ugly, yucky fish is dead all over.
Mom, look on this side. They're everywhere.
Spawn fish that have died. Oh my goodness.
Here we notice that there are salmon that have spawned in the river and are now dead along the shore. Wherever the water is slow, they've kind of compiled themselves, and there was a smell to the river, and it wasn't pleasant. It wasn't horrible, but it was definitely noticeable anywhere near the river, and it was on both sides, as you can see here. Is it cool? Why is it cool?
Because we haven't seen this in lots of times.
Yep, that's true. That is true. I just wanted to mention here that this is Resurrection Creek. I keep referring to it as Resurrection River or the river, but it is actually named as Resurrection. Good sized creek in my book. Mile 1. First water break and we're on the trail. It was a little bit muddy before here. We followed the river so far and we're just keeping on going. Reminding that kid that he's not supposed to be out that far, but well, no farther than that. I guess he's doing all right. And now, a word from our sponsor. What would you like to say today to the world? Not in Alaska at the moment, not on Resurrection Trail.
Today's gonna be hard.
It's gonna be hard?
Yeah.
Yeah?
From what we've been through.
We've been 1 mile so far.
Yeah.
There we go.
Well, 11 more to go, maybe. We just stepped off the trail like 10 feet. Just because we're back closer to the river. And it's beautiful. And again, you can see across the river right there in the middle of the screen. All those are dead salmon after having spawned. And then over here, a bunch of logs. They rerouted this river. It looked like back in 2005. It's a beautiful sight, and we're starting to see hints of fall. How you doing, sweet girl?
That's good.
Are you having fun? Yeah, good. Are you a tough girl?
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. What did we see over there that was full of berries?
Poop.
What kind of poop?
Papa.
Purple poop? From what?
Yep.
What was it from?
Did you just crack it? There.
From a bear. Good job, honey. So, definitely bear poop. And it's just purple from all the berries that bear has been eating. But he or she decided to leave it right here next to the trail. Nope, keep going. Where do you think we're at?
I hope we're halfway there, more than halfway at least. More, like 8 miles.
Why are we confused?
Because my phone says 8 miles and your phone says like 6.
We have a wide gap. Wyatt thinks
We should be almost there.
we'll be almost there. We drank our 3,000 liter, milliliter, 3 liter Camelback coming this far, and we're ready to filter some water and fill it back up again. So a little lasting water made even cleaner. Yay! And there's no dead fish in the water here, so that's a welcome sight since we're gonna drink this water. Yeah.
I'm the first one to have a drink since I'm holding the water in the air. You're not tall enough. Solomon? The big Solomon?
Yeah. So, you want to explain what's going on?
So we're not exactly sure where we're at. We just got to Caribou Creek. And it looks like there's a cabin up there. We don't know if it's our cabin or if we're at the next cabin. Because the first cabin looks like it wasn't even on the trail. So we'll just have to see.
All right, Wyatt, how'd checking out the cabin go? The first cabin.
We found out that it wasn't our cabin, and that we need to go a little bit more because the map isn't as accurate as we thought.
How much farther do you think we have?
Miles.
A mile.
Try 4.
No, not 4, not 4!
It might be true if the map's correct. If
Get there before dark.
even the text in the map. So this cabin was Caribou Creek cabin, and evidently it was at
Mile 7.
mile 7, and our cabin is at mile 11 and a half. So we're stopping for a little break. We had some nut rolls and some cinnamon Jolly Ranchers, and then we're gonna be headed back on the trail. Here we go. So we just wanted to follow up with where we left off. We found Caribou Creek Cabin, and it was, the map we had wasn't the best. It showed Caribou Creek Cabin kind of on a different side of the river than we expected it to be on. And then basically by the time we found it, we kind of felt like we were already close to our cabin, because that's how the map we had depicted it, that they were close to one another. And so we were all excited, and then we realized we still had another 4 miles to go. And I don't know what it is about the miles up here, but they feel a little bit longer than the miles anywhere else. So I was telling myself that these were definitely Alaskan miles, not Rhode Island miles, because it just felt like they were taking us a long time to get a mile. So anyway, that additional 4 miles was just kind of drudgery. We had low morale. Everybody was hurting. This guy got something in his eye.
Wyatt didn't even think there was a cabin.
Yep.
He's like, we're going on a hike to nowhere.
Wyatt was worried we were going to spend the night out in the woods in some makeshift shelter and have to use our emergency blankets and all that kind of stuff. So it was hard. It was very hard. We were all pretty bummed. So but then we finally came to Fox Creek, and we came to the cabin, and this is the cabin, and we stayed the night. So we didn't even take video of getting to the cabin. We didn't take video because when we got here, it was just throw our stuff down,
hurry and get water.
Yeah, we had to go to the creek and grab some more water to filter for food, because we used dehydrated food meals or whatever, and then hot cocoa and cider, and these guys didn't even want to play games, because usually they're all about staying up late and playing games, but we tuckered them out enough that they wanted to wait till this morning to play games. So
our goal was to get here at 6, and I think we actually got here at 8:30.
8:30, almost 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to give you a quick little rundown of the cabin. Here's the outhouse out back. And then down here is kind of the wood shed, I guess, to keep the wood dry. And there's also a bear box for storing your food so that it's safe from the bears. And there's the wood. Some dry wood that other people have foraged. And then this is the back porch of the cabin. And then I'm going to swing around the front. So, we did not have any critter visitors through the night. We were reading through the notes, and somebody had a porcupine visitor recently. So here's the front porch, and we're just packing up, getting ready to go. But here's the family hanging out, and out front porch, and coming inside, cleaning up. But we were a little surprised that these bunks are supposed to fit 8 people. And it fit us, but we're only 6 and we have small people. But I guess if you're cozy, you can fit 8 people on there. And then there's a little bench over here, and then a bench over in that corner. And so if you pulled the table out, you can have people all around it. All the windows and doors opened just fine. You can hear the creek from here. And this is the kitchen, and there's some spices and lighters and stuff to draw with. And then the stove kept us toasty warm last night, like a sauna, too warm. And that's about it. No electricity. Bring a lantern. There's a place to hang it from the ceiling if you want. we just put it on the table, but that's a rundown of the cabin. Here's a view from the front of the cabin. And one lesson that we learned on this trip is that we would rent the cabin for a couple days and be able to stay here and enjoy it more. The way we did this, we kind of showed up, slept in it, and then had to head out in the morning. And it would have been nice to spend more time here. We hit the trail to return at 11 a.m. and the weather was better than forecasted, which is a nice surprise. This is our miniature Schnauzer, Elfie, and she did really well in the trail. Of course, as dogs do, she would go from one end of our row of hikers to the other end of the row of hikers and make sure that we're all safe. And so where we hiked 12 miles, she probably hiked 24. And of course, we hiked 12 miles in and 12 miles out, so she hiked a lot more than we did. Anyway, at this point she was getting really tired and her paws were actually tender, so we decided to pick her up and put her in the pack. This worked for a while as Luke held her in the pack, but then later we ended up putting her on Amber's shoulders and my shoulders and let her trade off until she was feeling better and was able to walk again. In the future we'll get her some little dog booties to put on her feet. We eventually made it back to Caribou Creek where we saw the first cabin and then continued on. We were kind of surprised that we didn't see other hikers on the trail, especially with it being Labor Day weekend. But we did see mountain bikers,
Are you the last one?
both going and coming on the trail. We also heard that there was a group of horsemen on the trail, but we never did encounter them. Despite having better weather on the day we hiked out, the trail was muddy and wet, making the trail slippery. The 12 miles back to the car were hard. The kids complained near the end, and we had to take lots of breaks. And where we wished we had gotten back to the car by 6 p.m., it was closer to 9 p.m. The kids did great though, and we were so proud of them, especially little Taylor, who enjoyed her breaks but never complained when it was time to get up and go again. We're glad you came along on our hike, 12 miles in and 12 miles out, to and from the Fox Creek Public Use Cabin on Resurrection Trail. This adventure tested our family, but in the end, we were glad we did it. Soon after the trip, I'd tell people it was like childbirth. It was too soon to say it wasn't too bad. For our kids, I hope the memories of any pain and struggle fade, and that those of togetherness and being surrounded by beauty remain. If you liked this video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Timber Moments, where we'll be sharing more of our adventures here in Alaska. We'll also include links in the comments and on our website to additional information about our trip, the public use cabins, and gear we used, etc. Also, if you hit the little bell button, you'll be notified in the future when we upload new videos.